Hello, and welcome to Life Lessons and Confessions. My name is Paola, and we're going to begin. Today's topic is an unusual one for this channel. I don't really cover celebrity topics, but I just kept seeing a lot of videos on YouTube about how
Ariana Grande is a cheater.
And she relationships hog, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, is she a cheater? Or do you just don't know what love is? So we're going to start in.
Jolts you awake, what keeps you up? Stay touch with me if you can.
I just felt like talking about this topic, even though I don't cover celebrities a lot. Will probably not cover celebrities. They just don't interest me. But this one was an interesting one for me. I guess it's because I just finished my Lover Girl and Artist archetype. And if you don't know what it is, just click on the I button here. I have an archetype. I have a series about the common archetypes that tend to appear in the world. And the Lover Girl and the Artist archetype is an archetype of love. And a lot of us, myself included, at one point, not now, we think love is supposed to be forever. The Disney picture, happily ever after. And even when we hear someone has been married for a long time, it's always like, wow, oh my gosh, how did you make that happen? We already assume for it to be a positive thing because a lot of us have been trained, and it is training or marketed to. A lot of us have been made to believe if a relationship lasts a certain amount of time, it is successful. And if it doesn't last a certain amount of time, then it is not successful. Wrong. I disagree with this notion. I don't think time and longevity is a marker of love. I think how you feel and what has happened in that relationship is a stronger marker for your love than how long it has lasted. A lot of our grandmothers and great-grandmothers were in long-term relationships where they were used, abused, and hurt on a daily. Now, I'm not saying every person in a long-term relationship is used and abused. However, that has been consistent for a while. Yet some of us still believe in this time illusion when it comes to love, and we think if our relationship didn't last for as long as we thought, or if we didn't end up getting married, if you want to get married, or if we didn't end up living together for a certain amount of time, then it wasn't successful. That's not true. You can have a meaningful and even a loving relationship for a certain period of time. It means for that time you experience love at its fullest, and now they've moved on. It is what it is. And this is why I labeled this video what I did. I think Ariana Grande actually knows what love is. And most of the people who are talking about how she relationship hops or she's a cheater don't. Now, I don't actually know if she's a cheater. And I don't think a lot of us know if she's a cheater. We are not in a relationship with this woman. We do not know her. The only time we hear anything about her is on the news. And if it's for me, it's from other people reporting what they've heard on the news. I don't pay attention to celebrities like that. But the only time she ever comes across my timeline is because someone has made a video on her. And before, it used to be because of her talent, but now I just keep seeing a lot about her relationship status, her moving from this person to that person to that person. And a lot of people, and especially a lot of young girls, find this odd. And this is the case because a lot of women have been taught if your relationship does not work out, we try. The idea of trying, giving it a second chance, trying to put the pieces back together, trying to make it work, working hard so that this relationship can work out. Women tend to overstay their welcome in a relationship because of how we've been raised. We've been raised to try to make it work out, explore every potential avenue, go to therapy, which is a good one actually. Please go to therapy if you can. If you can afford it, okay, go to therapy. If you cannot, I'm sorry. I can't, healthcare is its own beast. But go to therapy, try to do this, try to do that. And most of the time, the partners they're in, especially if it's a heterosexual relationship, they don't give the same energy. And most of the time it's because they are the problem. But we're not going to talk about the male aspect. We're going to talk about women and how women tend to show up in relationships. Whenever we decide to show up in a relationship, we tend to give our all. And even when the relationship is no longer serving us, we tend to overstay our welcome because we've been taught to try our best, try to make it work, try to do this, try to do that. And I think a lot of girls find it odd for Ariana because it seems like she is not following the script. It seems like she's just relationship hopping. It seems like she's just having fun, or maybe she's non-committal. But I actually disagree. I think she knows exactly what she wants in a relationship. And that is exactly why she moves the way she moves. Because I found out that women, especially women who embody this archetype of love, connection, and intimacy, which click on the I button if you want to know more about that archetype, they just tend to move differently than any other woman. And that is because they really want love. They really want connection. They really want intimacy. And usually that tends to happen in the beginning stages of you getting to know your partner and getting to know who they are. This tends to happen in the stage of desire, where you don't quite know who they are. You might know their age, you might know their name, but there's a lot of blanks there that you want to fill. And women who embody this archetype of connection, intimacy, and love, they fill in that gap, and they would dedicate themselves 100% to that relationship in an effort to explore who their partner are, know who their partner are, know who they are, know how they're showing up. And that is what makes them really amazing lovers. But after that exploration stage has been finished, after intimacy has been made, they tend to leave and they tend to go to another relationship, and the whole cycle begins again. And this is because these people, they want love. They're not satisfied with just being content in a relationship. They're not satisfied with just being average in a relationship. They want everything that love encompasses. And as women, we've actually been taught the opposite, to be content in a relationship. And sometimes we feel like this is the best we can do. No one else is going to love me more than this person, and you're barely even getting your needs met. Or no one else is going to see me the way this person is seeing me, even though they're borderline emotionally abusing you. Like, we overstay our welcome even when we know it doesn't work out because we want to. Some people are delusional, but I think it's mostly because of this effort of trying hard. And I like this analogy of a broken vase. And I think the way Ariana Grande moves is more so like, I don't like using people as objects or representation of an object, but this is just the analogy that works, that I'm able to conceptualize. But it seems like as though the way she moves, think of her partners as a vase. And once the vase has been broken, she would just move out and buy a new vase. Whereas other women, once the vase has been broken, in an effort to put the pieces back together, they will try to glue the vase together. They will try to make it work. They will try to wish upon a star their partner can become the person they met in the beginning, even though they were lying to their face the whole time. And we have been taught to just overstay our welcome, overstay our time in relationships that are unfulfilling. And when we see a woman who's just, well, the vase broke, you know what, I'm just going to get another one. I'm not going to burden myself with trying to put this back together or try to put the pieces back together. We look at her as odd.
Why are you not cutting your fingers off like I am and trying to put this together? Like, why are you not doing that?
And she gets labeled as a relationship hopper, maybe non-committal, but I just think she's not willing to compromise on her vision of what love is. I think if a lot of us had a vision of the type of love we want to experience, the type of relationship we want to be in, we would be more likely to move like her. And yes, for some people, it might be a confidence issue. It might be a self-esteem issue. Like I said, some people really do believe they can't do better than the crappy relationship they're in, and they're unlovable. No one else will love them. Obviously, that's a different issue. But there are also a lot of women who do not have low self-esteem, who still overstay their welcome in a relationship. And that is because of this idea of trying to put the pieces back together, trying to make it work when your partner is dropping the ball. He's not even participating. Why should you try to make this work when this other person you're in a relationship with basically broke your vase? Okay, like, why are you putting the pieces back together when they are the fault? And I actually think the way Ariana Grande moves is very similar, but kind of different. But it's very similar to the Hollywood starlet in the 50s, echoing my 50s hairstyle, called Elizabeth Taylor. She's known for her 8 marriages, and it's literally a reputation that still went through her throughout her life. But it's simply from the fact that a lot of us are not taught to leave a relationship once it doesn't serve us. And honestly, these two women, they move the exact same way. And yes, it can be debated. Did she cheat? Did she not? Blah, blah, blah. We don't know. We're not in a relationship with these women. But I think they get a lot of flack from women, especially because we are not taught to leave a relationship once it has ended. We are taught to try to put the pieces back together. We are taught to try to make it work. We are taught to try this, try that, when the whole time is your relationship is over. And that's fine. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean maybe your partner is a bad person. Doesn't mean your partner is a bad person. The relationship has taken its course. You were in love. You were in a relationship for this amount of time. You honor that love and you move on. But we're not taught that. We are taught happily ever after. We are taught forever. We are taught this is the person you'll be with for the rest of your life. I wish that for you if that's really what you want. But another aspect of love is also seasonal. You can experience love for a season and then take that as your blueprint to have a longer longevity in your love life. I don't know, okay? What I'm basically trying to say is I love the way she moves, all right? And it obviously shows a sense of confidence in her decision, because even though she quote-unquote relationship hops, I don't think I've ever heard anything about her going back. So she's very grounded in the type of relationship she wants to experience and how she wants to experience that relationship, which is why, again, she moves on. Which is why when that relationship has extended its course, once she feels like the love is dwindling or something is happening, again, we don't know her. I'm just speculating. And the people who are making these videos about her relationship hopping or cheating are also speculating. We are all speculating. We are not this girl. So I really want to emphasize that. But I think a lot of people can learn from the way she moves. So that when a relationship has extended its course, when you are not getting your needs met, when you feel like it is changing or it is morphing into something different than what you're signed up for, maybe it is time to leave. Maybe it is time to try again with someone else, because you are lovable, because you are kind-hearted. And I think a lot of women don't realize this. You are lovable. You are kind-hearted. You don't have to be in that crappy relationship just because you don't want to be lonely. You don't have to be around people who do not like you and do not respect you and are borderline abusing you because you want a physical body next to you. Like, that's not fair to you. That's very disrespectful to who you are. And I love the way she moves because of this. And yes, maybe she's a commitment phobe. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I think there's a lesson to be learned here. And I think that lesson is when a relationship has extended its course, when the relationship no longer serves you, when it is changing into something you did not sign up for, maybe it is time to leave. Maybe you don't have to put the pieces back together. Maybe just go out and get a new vase. Maybe that's how you should go about it. Because let's face it, most of the time, we try to put the pieces back together, or we end up with glass shards and glue on our hands. And it's still not working properly. It's still not functioning the way it did in the beginning. It's still messed up. And all you did was waste your time. You wasted your time trying to put it back together when, at the end of the day, it's never going to be the way it was in the beginning. Maybe it's time to move on. Hello, hi. I kind of felt like I needed to add this because sometimes I can talk and ramble and I'm not clear. But basically, the summary of this whole thing, and I think a lot of women, especially young women, can learn from the way Ariana moves, is focus on love. Focus on the type of love you want to experience. Focus on that vision that you have. Obviously, be grounded. Don't be too dreamy and like just be in the Lululand. But focus on love. Don't focus on the guy. Sometimes we just focus on the guy too much and we forget about love because we're trying to make him like us, or we're trying to make this work, usually with this person. And another thing is, I know some people might receive this well, others won't, but I think there's always something to learn, especially when we are looking at someone who is moving a different way than us. I think there's a lesson to learn there. You don't have to implement everything she does, obviously. You're an individual and so is she. I'm not saying implement everything she does, but I think there's a nice lesson for young women to learn there, to not just focus on the guy, but focus on the vision of love they have and try to get that. Try to get your goal. That is my little rant. And this is not a common video. If you do happen to click on this video by accident, I don't make celebrity stuff, okay? I just felt like maybe another perspective needed to be given to this situation. And is she a cheater? Is she not a cheater? Only the people she's been intimate with can tell. And so far, I don't think they've said anything. Or if they have, you can tell me if they've said anything. And the way she moves is very in line with the lover girl archetype. And I love the way they move because they have an image in their mind of what love is. And they are not willing to compromise on that no matter what. And a lot of us are taught compromise. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. At the end of the day, we stay in the same situation for who knows how long, when you could have just gone around, date the rainbow like she is, gain experience, and find out what works for you. Like, honestly, what's better? I think the latter is better, but that's just me. So please let me know what you thought of this video. And please feel free to visit my website. It is called kitchentableadvice.com. I have blogs, poems, art, and just a bunch of stuff that are just mixed in together. So please feel free to visit the website. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.